Sup guys, I finally mustered up the courage to do the sweeping section of altitudes. Let's take a look. Just wanted to mention that because this solo is so arpeggio-y, I thought I'd do most of it clean just so you can hear the notes a little better and we can work through the passages with a little bit more clarity. So let's have a look at this initial E minor arpeggio we're working with. I'm doing a pull-off from 12 to 7 on the first, then playing 8 of the second, and then 9 of the third. And I'm just working my way back from there, going back to 8 of the second and then 7 of the first string. I'm going to do that twice, so I've got two groups of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now on the third sort of arpeggio that we'll be doing, we start off exactly the same. So the pull off from 12 to 7 and then playing 8 of the second and then 9 of the third, but then I want to sort of roll up to make that a bigger E minor arpeggio. So currently, if we've done the third one, I'm ending on 9 of the third string. I want to jump to 9 of the fourth and then do a pull off from 10 to 7 on the fifth. Okay, and then from that 7 I hammer into 10, so it'll go pull off into a hammer and I just sweep down till I get back to that pointer finger. So it's going 7, 10 as a hammer, 9 of the fourth, 9 of the third, 8 of the second, and then 7 of the first. So we'll do that all thus far a bit slower. Okay, then I go over to this, what would be an A major arpeggio. It's just two basic groups of 6 here. I'm doing a pull off from 12 to 9 on the first, hitting 10 of the second, and then 9 of the third. Work my way back down, 10 of the second, 9 of the first string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I repeat that group of 6 again, so we'll do 2 of those in a row. Okay, on the third occasion I just bring my pinky over to 14. And the rest of the arpeggio stays the same, and the fourth group of that is back to 12 again. So we've got 2 on 12, 1 on 14, and then back to 12 again. Hopefully that's making sense. Let's try the whole thing thus far from the start. Okay, then we get to this B minor arpeggio here. It's just 4 groups of those triplets, or that group of 6. So I'm doing a pull off from 14 to 10 on the first string, and then I play 12 of the second, 11 of the third, and then back down to 12 of the second and 10 of the first. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then from there we do that little idea twice. So what I'm doing here is I'm sliding from 14 to 19, and we're just going to borrow this E minor phrase and do exactly the same arpeggio from 19 to 14 as a pull off. So there's a pull off on the first string, 19 to 14, 15 to the second, and then 16 on the third and fourth. Okay, and then what I do here, instead of doing a pull off to my pointer, I'm going to slide from 17 to 14, sort of go. And then from there, I work forwards from this inversion of the arpeggio. So I'm going, which is going 14 of the fifth, 12 of the fourth, 11 of the third, very straight arpeggio, and then 12 of the second, and then 10, 14 of the first. And I've just got a little hammer there. So it'll go. And then from that hammer on, I'm back at that 14, and I want to begin that slide again. So it's exactly the same thing twice when we get up to that 14th fret. Okay, that's pretty much all of the first section. Let's do that a bit slower. Okay, let's take a look at the second group of arpeggios. I'm in D major now over here. I'm doing a pull off from 17 to 14, and then playing 15 of the second, and then 14 of the third, and then working my way back down, 15 of the second, 14 of the first. Now we're pretty much going to borrow what we did on the A major. We're going to do 2 D majors exactly the same with the pinky on 17. And then for the third group, I just bring the pinky over to 19 and I do that. And the rest of the arpeggio stays the same. And then the fourth group of that was just back to the 17 again. So we've got 2 17s, a 19, and then back to the 17. Okay, after that I go into this, I guess an F sharp major arpeggio. It's a little bit different shape-wise than everything we've dealt with thus far. I'm doing a pull-off from 18 to 14 on the first string, then playing 14 of the second, so rolling that pointer, and then I'm jumping to 15 of the third string. And I want to do, go back the way I came, so I'll be hitting 14 of the second and then 14 of the first. I want to do 2 of those. And much the same as what we did on the previous arpeggio, I'm going to lift the pinky up 2 frets. That'll do a pull off from 20 to 14. And it's a bit of a strange note, but you know, it's what he hits, and I think it is kind of interesting. So we've got 2 on 18, 1 from 20, and then the last one from 18. So back to back. Okay, now we're going to borrow this kind of B minor sweep idea from the first section when we're doing this. We're going to do 3 of those in a row. But the last time that we get to the pointer, the pinky finger here, we're going to do that little thing there. So let's just say that we've gotten up to that pinky. I'm doing a pull off from 14 to 10, and then hitting 12 of the second string, and then jumping to 15 and doing a pull off to 10 and then hitting 12 of the second, back to 14. So thus far, a bit slower. Okay, and then the last one's a little diminished idea from 13 to 10 and then 12 of the third string. Now what you can do is you can do sort of an alternate pick thing really quickly, or another thing you can do is you can start off with a back pick, and then as soon as you hit 12 of the second string from there, you can go do just light little down sweeps. If that makes adequate sense. So we've got this thing 3 times into what we just did. Okay, let's try that section one more time a little slower. Third section, I want to do a pull off from 15 to 10 on the first string, then hit 12 of the second, then 12 of the third, then back down to 12 of the second, and then back down to 10 of the first string. Once again, we're working with arpeggios and groups of 6, so the timing does get a little bit predictable. The second group that I've got is this. That really, really big arpeggio. So let's take that a bit slower. I'm doing a pull off from 15 to 10 again. And I'm hitting 12 of the second, the third, and the fourth string. Okay? Then from there, I'm doing a pull off from 14 to 10 and then hammering back to 14. From there, I'm working my way back down the arpeggio, going 12 of the fourth, 12 of the third, 12 of the second, and then ending on 10 of the first. So thus far, this is what we should have. I just want to borrow that first group of 6 on the first arpeggio. So we've got that both sides of the really big one in the middle. So thus far, this is what we should have. Okay, then we bring that major shape up 2 frets. I'm doing exactly the same thing twice in a row now. I'm doing a pull off from 17 to 12, then playing 14 of the second, 14 of the third, 14 to the second, and 12 of the first, and it is identical to what we just had, just 2 frets up. Okay, so after we've done the same thing twice, that big arpeggio shape. So a little bit slower, I'm going 17 to 12, 14 across the second, the third and the fourth string. And then I'm hitting 16 of the fifth. And instead of doing a pull off to the pointer here, I'm going to slide that pinky back all the way back to 12. And then I go just sweeping up and down this little idea here. So when I actually get there, I'm going from 12, I'm playing 11 of the fourth, 9 of the third, 10 of the second. And then I work my way back up to 9 of the third, and then 11 of the fourth. So it'll go. So just the most recent part. Okay, now we've just got this huge one here from F sharp, I think it was. Let's take our time with this. I want to start from 9 of the fifth string. We're just going to work down that major shape again. So it's going to go 9 of the fifth, 8 of the fourth, 6 of the third, 7 of the second, and I just work my way up briefly to 6 of the third and then 8 of the fourth. Okay, and then I work my way down straight up the arpeggio and then just to the next inversion of that idea. So I was playing the biggest sweep, was going pretty much the same notes again, just not working back and forward. I'm going straight up from 9 of the fifth, 8 of the fourth, 6 of the third, 7 of the second, and then a hammer from 6 to 9 on the first, and then that slides to 14. So all together. And then from there I'm just pulling off up to that major shape again. I'm going 14 to 9, and then playing 11 of the second, 11 of the third, 11 of the second again, and then 9 of the first string. And then from there we go. So now there's one last little piece to this. I'm sliding from 14 to 18 on the first string, and then I pull off back to that 14, and then I'm going to play 14 of the second, then 15 of the third, and then play 16 of the fourth and the fifth string. So it'll go. Okay, hopefully that's all making sense. Let's take it from the start of the section nice and slow. Okay, we've got one little arpeggio bit left and then some gentlemanly shredding. Let's have a look at this. Alright, so we're starting in, I guess what would be D major. Working straight up. It's pretty simple. I'm playing 17 of the fifth, 16 of the fourth, 14 of the third, 15 of the second, and I do a hammer on from 14 to 17. Okay, and then from there I slide to 22, and then pull off back to the 17, so I go. And then from that point I'm working down this major shape that we've seen several times now. I'm playing 19 of the second, the third, and the fourth string. And then playing 21 of the fifth. So all together thus far. Okay, it's a bit of an awkward jump back, but then I'm on 17 of the fifth string with my ring finger. The reason why I do this just makes the arpeggio a little bit easier if we're starting with these kind of finger arrangements. So I'm playing 17 of the fifth with the ring, and then 16 of the fourth, and then 14 of the third, much the same as what we had at the start. And then I've got to pull off. I'll be playing the 19 and pulling off back to 14. And then ending on 16 rather, of the fourth string. Working with a group of 6 there. We're going to take that D major shape and just jump it up to the 6th string and play an A major. So just in case, I'll go over this again. I'm playing 17 of the 6th, 16 of the 5th, and then doing 14 of the 4th, and then a pull off from 19 to 14. And then ending that on 16 of the 5th. Okay, so let's try putting that whole 4th section together a little slower. so I decided to add a little bit of distortion for this last bit just because we're getting a little bit shreddier. I'm playing 11 of the 4th string. I go 11, 12, 14 on the 4th. And then I play 11 of the 3rd string and then back up to 14 of the 4th. Okay, then I do a very similar idea between the 3rd and the 2nd string. I'm playing 11, 12, 14 again, but on the 3rd string. I hit 12 at the 2nd and then back up to 14 of the 5th. So we're kind of working in groups of 5. Okay, the next one. I'm going 12, 14, 15 on the 2nd string, and then playing 12 of the 1st, and then back to 15 of the 2nd, and then the last little chunk of this bit goes 15, 17, 19 on the 2nd, and then 15 of the 1st. So all together. Okay, then it gets a little bit more cray-cray here. Quite cray. Anyway, so it goes, I've got to pull off from 12 to 11 on the 4th, and then I play 14 to the 5th, and then it goes, let's slow that down. I'm playing 11, 12, 14 on the 4th, and I do a hammer-on into a pull-off, 11, 12, 11 on the 3rd string, and then jump to 14 to the 4th. So I'll do that again a little bit slower. Okay, then what I do here, a little bit slower. I'm playing 11, 12, 14 on the 3rd string. I'm doing a hammer into a pull-off, 12, 14, 12 on the 2nd, and then playing 14 of the 3rd string. So from the start of this cray-cray bit, then I go, so a very similar idea. I'm playing 12, 14, 15 on the 2nd string, and then a hammer-on into a pull-off, 12, 14, 12 on the 1st, and then 15 to the 2nd string. All together thus far, a little slower. Okay, now the last little bit is all just on the 1st string. So we'll take our time with this. I'm playing 12, 14, 15 on the 1st. Yeah, that's right. So we're leading from the 14 here. So I'm going 12, 14, 15, and then I do a hammer on from 14 to 15 to pull off to 14 to 12. So I go. If that makes sense. And we use a very similar principle on the next two. I go 14, 15, 17. And I do a hammer on 15, 17, pull off to 15, and then pull off to 14. So I go. Okay, then a very similar idea here. 15, 17, 19. And then I've got the hammer on 17, 19, pull off to 17, pull off to 15. Nice and slowly from here. And then the last bit goes. Try again, Christopher. That's a lot better. So it goes 17, 19, 21, and then 19, 21, 22. So this whole last little fast shred. Let's put it with the other part now, nice and slow. And that's the end of the sweepy, shreddy bit of altitudes. I'll perchance do group 4 if you harass me enough. I'll see you guys soon.